please welcome Speaker Paul Ryan.
Hey everybody, good to see you guys. How are you doing? I'm Wisconsin. All right. Hey, it is great to be here with all of you in Madison. I know I'm taking a political risk here. Ohio is a battleground state. But the Buckeyes are going down tomorrow night, aren't they, right? Huh? On Wisconsin. Look, you know, politics is a team sport too. We can't do what we do without all the time and the effort given to our cause in all of our candidates. So whether it is sending Mike Gallagher to the House or sending Ron Johnson back to the Senate, what each and every one of you do makes such a difference. And in an election as critical as this one, it will make all of the difference. I want to get right to the heart of things today. Look, I know this election has taken sometimes some very dark turns, which is exactly why I think it's important that we take a step back and reflect on what this election is ultimately all about. Beneath all the ugliness lies a long-running debate between two governing philosophies. One that is in keeping with our nation's founding principles, like freedom and equality, and another that seeks to replace them. And so at this time, I would like to invite you to reflect on this choice that we are facing here. Right now, as fractured and as polarized as this country is, a vast majority of Americans, 7 out of 10, they agree on something fundamental. They agree that our country is on the wrong path. We have a chance to start solving our country's problems. We have the chance to save this country from decline and set it on the right path, a path lit with hope, liberty, and self-determination, those core principles that set America apart. You know, in elections, we don't just decide who our leaders will be. We get to choose what kind of country we will have for years to come. And the kind of America we want is confident and determined. Our allies trust and our enemies fear the America we want. The America we want is a land of opportunity driven by the individual spirit. You don't just live your life, you lead your life. You don't just get by, you get ahead and make the most of your potential. The America we want is a place where work is rewarded, where success is earned, where ingenuity is exalted. In the America we want, government exists to serve the people. And instead of lecturing us, our leaders listen to us. They offer positive solutions to tackle our problems. And sometimes we put all of those ideas on paper and we put them on a website named better.gop. I'm told that it looks great on any mobile device. That is better.gop. This is the America we want. This is our party's vision for America. What vision do Hillary Clinton and her party offer the people? They want what America that doesn't stand out. They want an America that is ordinary. There's kind of a gloom and grayness to things. In the America they want, the driving force is the state. It is a place where government is taken away from the people, where we are ruled by our betters, by a cold and unfeeling bureaucracy that replaces original thinking. It is a place where the government twists the law and the Constitution itself to suit its purposes. It's a place where liberty is always under assault, where passion, the very stuff of life, is extinguished. That is the America Hillary Clinton wants. And if given control of Washington, if given control of Congress, it is the kind of America she will stop at nothing to have. The America that they want is remade in the mold of what we call liberal progressivism. Now, liberal progressivism really needs no introduction right here in Madison. right? It's imported from socialist Europe. It got its start in America right here in Madison, Wisconsin. We're what, 10 minutes down the road from La Follette High School? You know, I used to play over there. A century ago, Bob La Follette, Fighting Bob, we called him, he was part of a movement to address some very legitimate grievances of the people. You know, busting trusts, ending patronage, important reforms with good intentions. But their theory was that if we enlarged the state, if we stocked the bureaucracy with so-called experts and technocrats who would decide what was best for the collective, then we would all be better off. And to many in its time, the idea had some appeal. I mean, it made little sense in a nation founded on the distrust of power, but it did have some appeal. But it didn't take long for this theory to be pulled back into its collective roots, to central planning and organization. Our betters became obsessed with bigger and bigger government, ignoring constraints, constitutional and otherwise, and arbitrarily picking winners and losers. Well, the last 8 years has been one long liberal progressive experiment. Time and again, we have been told, if we just spend more money, create more programs to live under, more rules to live by, put one more wing on the great palace of government, this will solve all of our problems. Yet after all of that, we feel less safe and less secure, less free and less prosperous. As government grows more unaccountable and unresponsive, there is less faith and less trust. And that is because liberal progressivism simply does not work. It's the longest con. It preaches to us about fairness while snuffing out the striving that is at the heart of a free society. Perhaps then it should come as no surprise that we are in the weakest economic recovery since the Great Depression, that people are working longer hours for less, that we are supposed to accept this as all of a permanent new normal. I mean, just look at yourselves. All the work that you put into getting this great high-quality education right here at Madison, all of it leading to the moment where you can strike out on your own. And it's about as tough as it's ever been to find a good, decent-paying job, a job that will help you start to tackle your debt and get you on the right path. I mean, this may be the worst thing about liberal progressivism. It actually hurts the very people it is claiming to protect. There are now more than 94 million Americans who are not just out of work. They're not even looking for work. Nearly 1 out of 3 men over the age of 20 are not currently in the workforce. America's idle army, they are called. Think about that for a second. A whole generation of workers threatens to be wiped out by liberal progressive policies. Unless we act, what becomes of these people, our fellow citizens? Well, there may be no greater monument to liberal progressivism than our modern welfare system. It was created, again, it was created with good intentions. As part of the war on poverty, a charge technocrats would lead to fix a gripping social problem. But now, after trillions of dollars spent, dozens and dozens of programs created, the needle is barely moved. I mean, our poverty rates are still higher than they were in the 1970s. That is because our welfare system is designed to replace work, not encourage work. The technocrats measure success by how much money we're spending, how many programs have we created, not by how many people we help get out of poverty. The system does not adapt to you. It doesn't customize to you. It just pushes you along the conveyor belt from program to program. It keeps people down instead of helping them break free. And it goes against everything the American idea represents. This is what liberal progressivism is. It is the bad landlord that raises your rent but doesn't fix the heat. You know, maybe the place was nice once, but there hasn't been any upkeep. Sure, they promise you all kinds of upgrades, but nothing changes, at least not for you. Maybe the folks up on the top floor, but not for you. But then you are given no choice but to sign the same lease. And so you're stuck, no way up, no way out. Here is what you need to know about our political opponents. The left does not just seek a continuation of the last 8 years. They do not just seek to further the liberal progressive experiment. They intend to make it into a reality, an arrogant, condescending, and paternalistic reality. The country may be drowning in debt, but what are they proposing? Another stimulus package of more government spending. I mean, you'd think that after the last 8 years, the left would realize there's no money left for their schemes, but apparently not. The economy may be suffocated by regulations, but Washington Democrats are in the midst of proposing a record slew of rules, an onslaught, from everything from overtime pay to retirement planning. Our tax code may be one of the least competitive in the world, but Washington Democrats propose a continual stream of massive tax increases. In America, the one that they want, the tax code that they want, our tax code is not a source of growth, it's a machine of redistribution. And for families looking for some relief, any relief from Obamacare, they propose no cure. In fact, Washington Democrats, they want to expand Obamacare. They want to take us further toward government-run health care. That is the America Hillary Clinton and Washington Democrats want. But it is not the America that we want. We want an America that values disruption and innovation. Because in a time when you can customize your life right down to the channels you want, one-size-fits-all designs are creaky, they're worn out, they're obsolete. I mean, you see this in your daily lives as millennials. Take Uber, Lyft, and Airbnb. Great success stories in recent years. Services that are just taking off, even in this sluggish economy. Guess what? One of the centerpieces of Clintonomics is to crack down on these companies. This is what liberal progressivism does. Even in an age of diversity, it demands conformity and sameness. It traps people. It traps people in healthcare exchanges you can't navigate, rules you can't understand or afford, and a tax code you can't make heads or tails of unless you hire an army of lawyers. This is not about freeing you. It is about limiting you. There's no room to run, no chance to grow, or to fail for that matter. People are not needed, they're counted and sorted. This is how you can so casually classify whole groups of people as baskets of deplorables. It's how Hillary Clinton can so casually say, and I quote, "We are going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business," as if government, that imperial we she was talking about, should be able to just wave a wand and put a whole industry of workers out of work. And it is how her associates can so casually say, as we learned this week, that a whole faith, a whole church is severely backwards. This is the America that the left wants. And if Congress does not stand for this, and a Republican Congress will not stand for this, they will hire unelected bureaucrats to do their bidding and appoint activist judges to do the rubber stamping of their designs. You see, the left, they're not challenging the system. They're rigging the system. Because liberal progressivism is not government for the people, it's government by them, the elites. You see, when Hillary Clinton says we are all stronger together, what she means is that we are stronger if we are all subject to these rules, to government. What she means is we are stronger if we give up our ties and our responsibility to one another and hand it all over to government. If we take apart our ability to customize our solutions and fight for progress right in our own communities. But there is no strength in any of this, only hubris. Only the arrogance to assume that we are better off if we fall in line or bow down to our betters. That may be the kind of America they want, but that is not the kind of America we want. The America we want is about empowering people to flourish and to thrive. That is why we are taking to the country a bold agenda. This is what we want this election to be about. A better way that means less government and more freedom, less apathy and more ambition. A way that offers the best of what liberty produces. You know, instead of accepting a stalemate, we want to end the status quo in our welfare system. Instead of replacing work, we want to reward work. Make sure that work always pays. Get people the skills they need to succeed long term and get them on the ladder of opportunity. And instead of all this fear and uncertainty, we want to secure our borders. We want to build a 21st century military. And we want to confront radical Islamic extremism once for all to keep us safe. Instead of just trudging along, we want our economy to live up to its potential. And it starts with getting government out of the way. Our plan will make it easier to build things, to develop our energy resources, and to start small businesses. But we don't just need to peel away a few regulations here and there. We need to restore self-government. We need to make sure that we are writing the laws that we live under, not unelected bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. Here's an idea. Every major regulation should come before Congress for a vote before it goes into effect. Think of that. That's accountability. I mean, don't you think that we ought to be living under the laws that we write for ourselves through our elected representatives instead of these unelected bureaucrats? Or instead of letting Obamacare continue to drain us, we want to repeal it and replace it with real patient-centered solutions. You should be able to choose the plan that best fits your situation and your budget, not Washington's mandates. And instead of letting our tax code smother us, we want to get the IRS out of our lives. We want to lower taxes for hardworking people. We want to make the tax code so simple that you can do your taxes on the form the size of a postcard. Now, that is the Cliff Notes version of our agenda. I don't even know if you guys use Cliff Notes anymore. That's the short version. The long version, the details are available if you go to better.gop. Because believe it or not, we are offering an agenda. We are offering solutions. We are taking our country's principles, we are applying them to the problems of the day, and we're giving people real solutions. This is the America we want. We do not just offer these ideas to solve problems or to tick off some to-do list. We offer these ideas to give our fellow citizens a clear choice. Are we going to be positive and inclusive and bring people together and reclaim our founding principles? Or are we going to be overrun by liberal progressivism with more drift, more despair, and more decline? That is the choice before us. You know, I know many people are still making their choice. I know some people are avoiding making any choice at all, and I don't begrudge anybody for that. It is certainly easy at a time like this to get bogged down, to let our fears overcome our hopes, to lose sight of the horizon. Here's what I want to ask of you. What I urge you to do, raise your gaze, now more than ever. For there is far more at stake here than we realize. Every single generation of Americans has left the next generation better off. This is our legacy. This is America's boast to the world. If we stay on this current path, we will be the first generation to violate this unwritten compact. And if we do not act, we will not just lose our quality of life or our standard of living, we are at risk of losing the spirit and the initiative that makes America exceptional in the first place. And if Hillary Clinton wins, and if she is given control of Washington, if she is given control of Congress, it will not be long before we come to that precipice. But that does not have to happen. We can be done with the old ways. We can build the America we want. And this is where you will make a crucial difference. Because as powerful as ideas are, they are nothing without people who will stand up and put them to the test, who will say, this is our vision. This is what we stand for. And if you want to save this country, stand with us and join our cause. This is the fight for the next 25 days. This is what we're going to be out talking about. This is what House Republicans are offering. Let's raise our gaze. Let's rise to this challenge. Let's make this moment ours. Thank you very much for coming out today and on Wisconsin. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we are just going to let Paul chill for a bit back there, take care of the podium. I'm Vicki McKenna, and I'd like to thank you, college Republicans. I'm told one of the largest group of college Republicans in the history of the organization at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing to swim against the stream, because I'll tell you what, when I was in college, I wasn't as brave as you are. In Madison, Wisconsin, of all places. I host a show from 3 to 6 p.m. in your fine city, and I have been swimming against the stream. Sometimes it feels like a tidal wave for the better part of 13 years. So thank you for being reinforcements, because we need you. Please feel free to stay in Madison when you graduate, because we need you. Here's how it's going to work. I've got your questions. I've got your names. I may mispronounce them. I'm going to apologize in advance. I will call you. There will be somebody with a microphone who will walk up to you. You don't get to hold the mic, so don't be grabbing the microphone. We don't allow that. I don't know, something about when you get a microphone, people just suddenly want to do karaoke or something like that. So we're going to have someone hold the microphone. I'd ask that you stand and ask your question, and then if you could, wait for the speaker to finish answering your question, and we'll just simply move on. We'll get as many in as we can. I'm not sure we're going to get to all of your questions. In fact, I suspect we won't, but we will try to move through them as fast as possible. So if you, for some reason, need a follow-up, please just sort of signal to me, and if we've got some time for a bit of a follow-up question, that's going to be at my discretion. So again, we are under a bit of a time crunch here, so that's how it's going to work. All right, guys, you ready to go? Then I will welcome back to the stage House Speaker Paul Ryan. I feel like we should be singing a duet. All right, we're going to start with Kennedy from Madison. Kennedy from Madison.
First of all, thank you.
Where'd you go to high school?
Where'd I go to high school? I'm actually originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota, but I go
Reciprocity
to school
is a
here
good thing.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually more liberal there, I think, than it is here. So
That's
for me,
saying
it's
something.
kind of refreshing. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for being here. So my question is, the majority of millennials, especially on college campuses, reject conservative values. Many of our peers don't understand Republican principles because they're not even willing to listen to us. So how would you recommend that we try to spread this message on our campuses to educate students about conservative principles and candidates such as Ron Johnson and others?
Yeah, so first of all, do everything you can to get Ron Johnson reelected. This man deserves reelection. That's number one. Number two, I think all of us, when I was young, I experienced the same kind of backlash you did. I spent a lot of my childhood here in Madison. A lot of my college years I came here in Madison. Didn't go to school here, but I spent my summers up here. And so, number one, when you're debating somebody, don't go to emotion. And don't impugn another person's emotion. And when that's coming at you, take the high ground. Number two, I always encourage people, go back to the basics and the classics. Read what liberal progressivism puts out. Read, your Hegel and your Weber, and understand what it is they're trying to propose so that you have a better understanding of how you can defeat it intellectually. And then take our principal conservative values. I really call myself a classical liberal more than a conservative, because what that means is we believe in those core principles that made this country great: liberty, freedom, equality, self-determination, the Constitution. Understand those first, familiarize with them, and then find out how to characterize it in today's language, how to apply it to today's experiences. That's why I talk about, customization with your mobile devices and things like this. That is liberty and freedom and self-determination in the free enterprise system. And so I think it's very important that when people are shouting at you, you're not going to win a shouting match, because no one wants to listen if they're screaming at each other. But get back to the basics and apply these great principles through your life and your experiences as you know it, and try and introduce your friends and people who don't agree with you with these things, and take the high ground.
All right. And freedom is cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to defeat freedom.
Jake, Milwaukee. Where's Jake?
Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Hey.
You talk a lot about the Better Way agenda, so my question is, how will you continue to pursue this if the Senate is flipped or Hillary is elected president?
Yeah, it's not going to be as easy. So this is 6 things. It's welfare reform. It's rebuilding our national security. That's Homeland Security and national security. Rewriting our regulatory system, restoring the separation of powers of the Constitution, replacing Obamacare and entitlement programs so we don't have a debt crisis, so you get a debt-free nation, and replacing the tax code. These would be extremely difficult in divided government. One of the reasons why we put this agenda out there is this is what we could not achieve in divided government with Barack Obama as president. We worked on things that we could achieve the last year, but these are things that we just have big philosophical differences of. And so that's why just having more of the same stalemate is just not a good option. Let me give you just one little example. Take tax reform or a budget, for example. All tax laws must start in the House of Representatives. And so look at our tax reform, go to better.gop and see what we do. And we write tax bills in the House a certain way so that we maximize economic growth. Then we send that bill over to the Senate, and it's the Senate Budget Chair who is the referee who decides, whether or how we're going to consider that bill, tax bill or a budget bill. If we keep control of the Senate in the Republican hands, and if Ron Johnson wins re-election, which I think will determine whether we keep the Senate, a nice guy named Mike Enzi from Wyoming is the Senate Budget Chair, and he helps us get these budgets to the president's desk, get these tax bills through. If we lose the Senate, do you know who becomes the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee? A guy named Bernie Sanders. You ever heard of him? This just tells you what we would be dealing with in a divided government if we lose control of the Senate. And so losing the Senate makes it that much more difficult for us to even put a bill on a president's desk. And so that is why it's so important that we keep the Senate as well.
So there's not much of an option. That's what he's telling you.
We'll keep fighting for what we believe, and we'll be passing what we believe in the House, but we got to get things to the president's desk. We've got to actually get them through all. And the filibuster is frustrating enough as it is, but not even being able to bring up a bill if we lose control of the Senate would be even more frustrating.
Do you have a follow-up? You're good? Okay. Kate. Would like Kate from Wisconsin Rapids.
Hi, Speaker. Thank you for joining us
Hey,
here
Kate.
today in Madison. So my question for you is, how do we articulate our economic message in a clear and brief manner so college students, minorities, and lower-income individuals who would normally vote for Democrats see how our policies are fair and will benefit them?
I spent a lot of my time on just that point. I'd say two things. You have to have good ideas, number one, and we do. Number two, look at how miserable the status quo is. Look at just this war on poverty itself. We measure success in the war on poverty by effort, not by outcomes. And take a look at the kind of things that we're offering. For instance, customizing welfare benefits to get a person from welfare to work, making sure that we actually create upward mobility and economic growth. I think it's really the left's argument of more government control, redistribution, which leads to slower economic growth. And you can talk about how bad the status quo is and how little opportunity we have because we are living under Obama liberal policies. So what we have right now is a flavor of what they want to continue doing. Talk about then what freedom and opportunity and upward mobility look like. Talk about how our principles are you get to have more determination over your own life, and we want government to get out of the way so that we can actually solve problems locally. We can solve problems in our community. We need people. And every single person in this country is needed. And what we want to do is help solve these problems together, eye to eye, soul to soul, person to person. What the left is saying is, no, just have Washington fix all of that. And so I think the best way to do it is to appeal to people by going and talking to people and showing that we care, that we have better ideas, and that we have principles that when applied, they work. The last point I'll say is, especially in poor communities in America, rural and urban America and poor communities, I spent a lot of time doing this. Go find the people who are doing a really good job of solving problems. Go find those great poverty fighters and surround them and help them and amplify them. Pulaski High School. You said you're from Milwaukee. You know Pulaski High School right across the street from St. Luke's? Pulaski High School 3 years ago had 14 gangs. I mean, it was really an ugly situation. Most of us in Wisconsin know Pulaski High School. And 14 gangs, you can imagine the violence, the dropout rates, kids just getting washed away in society. A local group running rebels, local poverty fighters, they said, you know what, let's try something else, because they were trying more police, more cameras, more everything. They had a bunch of kids, young people, who used to be in gangs, who used to be down on their luck, who got redeemed, who came into the school to become mentors, to help the kids in Pulaski High School learn from their mistakes so that they didn't repeat their mistakes. They were 24-hour-7 mentors. It's called the Violence-Free Zone program. Now, those 14 gangs are gone. Graduation rates are up, attendance is up, everything's turning around. Their academics are up, and these kids are now graduating with futures. And so the people in the community, have taken this Violence-Free Zone program, a local grown idea in Milwaukee, and we're spreading it to other schools in Milwaukee. We're now spreading it to Racine. There's some great folks down in Dallas doing this. That is what we believe in. That is an extension of our philosophy of rolling up your sleeves, solving a problem locally, and fixing it. You can't do that if you're waiting for Washington to solve all these problems. So there's just a beautiful picture of the kinds of things that we as conservatives believe in achieving so that everybody can reach their lot in life. The way I say it is the American idea is a really, really clear, simple idea. The condition of your birth doesn't determine the outcome of your life. We need to make sure that that idea is believable and true for everybody. And only by each and every one of us taking responsibility in our communities and advancing these ideas and principles and solutions can we achieve that. I think that's attractive no matter what party you belong to.
All right, let's go to Kelly from the state of Georgia. Oh, there she is.
Wait for the mic. Nobody can hear you otherwise.
Hi.
Hi. Where are you from, Kelly?
Georgia.
Okay. Wow.
My question is, what is your best advice for Republican college students on liberal campuses like Madison regarding an increased criticism and challenges faced in light of the upcoming election?
Well, have I shown you this? You can't beat something with nothing. Don't get into a personality contest. Don't talk about the latest Twitter storm from somebody. Talk about what you believe and why you believe it, and why you think it's important to keep our country's core principles, stick to the Constitution, and fight for these beliefs. You have to have an agenda. What the kind of election we really want to have, it's not the one we're necessarily having right now. The one we really want to have is saying, we've got ideas and solutions. Let's go win this so we earn the right to do it. Guess what? That's what we did here in Wisconsin. That's what Scott Walker and that's what the state legislature did. Here are the problems. Here's our solution. They won. They did it. And, the results are proving themselves. So that's what I'd say in a tough liberal campus like this. Don't walk yourself into some bizarre personality contest, but get into an ideas contest. And that is why what we're doing is trying to offer you and furnish you with ideas that actually solve problems.
Do we have time for a couple more?
I promise I will not pull this out of my pocket one more.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Why don't you just keep it in your front pocket?
Yeah, right.
Just tap the mic on it. How about John? We've had John from Milwaukee. There could be 5 Johns from Milwaukee, but there he is.
Okay. Where in Milwaukee are you from?
Southside Milwaukee. What are your main goals for the upcoming legislative session?
Okay, I said I'd promise, but I can't help myself. The way I used to run the budget committee and the Ways and Means Committee, so I'm pretty familiar with the budgeting process. My goals in the upcoming session is right away to get working on the economy. And that means a budget which includes getting the budget under control. I'm really worried about the military, about the hollowing out of our military, so we have to reform the big structural drivers of our debt and our deficit and free up what I call fiscal space for the military, meaning we got to fix our military or we're going to have a real problem soon. And I really want to get tax reform running as quickly as possible. Our tax code is arguably, I wouldn't say arguably, it is the worst tax system in the industrialized world. And it is causing us to lose a lot of jobs and competitiveness. Overseas, which right here in Wisconsin means Lake Superior, right? We see countries like Canada taxing all their businesses at like 15%. Ireland's at 12.5%. China's at 25%. England's going to 18%. Our corporations are taxed at 35%. Our successful small businesses, which is 9 out of 10 businesses in Wisconsin are filed as small businesses, they're taxed as high as 44.6%. That is killing American competitiveness and job creation. And more to the point, we have these goofy international tax laws that if a company sells something overseas, makes money overseas, builds it here, they can't bring the money back and reinvest it without getting a huge tax consequence. So I want to clean up this tax code. I want to get economic growth. The tax plan we put out, one estimate says it could create as many as 1.7 million new jobs and add about 10% growth to the economy. So first thing out of the gates is a budget that gets tax reform, that gets this debt and deficit under control, and gets our military what they need. Then we got to go work on regulations. I want to work on poverty and welfare. I want to work on the rest of this agenda effectively. But get this economy growing. Get you, when you graduate, into an economy where you have good options, good jobs, good wages. You get the economy growing, and it fixes a lot of problems. And then let's also work on the people who are stuck in poverty, who are stuck in this system, this poverty trap, and get them into the economy. We do that, and we're doing well. And we're going to get the kind of revenues we need to get the kind of things we need to do at the federal level. And to me, it's reasserting the separation of powers in the Constitution is one of the most critical goals we've got to get done in 2017.
All right, I think we have time for a couple more. Sydney. There she is.
Where are you from?
Minnesota. Minnesota.
Another reciprocity person.
Yep.
Yeah, go Packers.
Thank you so much for
Sorry.
being here again.
I always say that. You know what this is, don't you, Vicki? Yeah, that's a Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl ring right there. You know, see that?
Oh,
Sorry,
we're 5-0,
I couldn't. I'm
so-
sorry.
Oh, I'm stealing
They
that.
beat us already, so I had to get them there. You know.
5-0.
All right. Sorry. Yeah.
All right.
I just
If Hillary gets
kissed away the Minnesota vote, didn't I? Yeah. Sorry. Kissed. Yeah.
If Hillary gets the presidency, what are the Republicans' plans to deal with the skyrocketing cost of health care and the coming implosion of Obamacare?
Yeah. This is going to be a real problem, no matter who the next president's going to be. And the real problem is actuaries declare this current state of health care a death spiral. It's a term they use, which says sicker and sicker people are joining the exchange. Healthier people are not. And so that means the premiums have to go up and up and up just to cover the costs. United Healthcare, which is in are you from Minneapolis? Yeah, United Healthcare is the biggest health insurance company in the country from your hometown. They pulled out. They couldn't make Obamacare work. Aetna, another really big health insurance company, pulled out. I met with all these actuaries at Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they told me the law is failing 2 years ahead of schedule, meaning they all saw this coming. So what's going to happen next year is much higher premiums, much higher deductibles. So it doesn't even feel like you really have health insurance in the first place because the deductible is so high and no choices. I think Kaiser said something like 31% of counties in America, you only get one choice in Obamacare. Next year, it's going to get even worse. So, again, I got to show you, we actually have a plan for this. So what I want to do in this budget that I was just answering your question is advance a solution to this to replace this failing system, this failing Obamacare, with real patient-centered health care. We can have a system in this country where people can get affordable health care rates, more choices, more freedom, lower prices, better quality, and we can do it so we have the kind of aid we need for people who are low income so they can get insurance, people who don't have insurance, and we can have a system where people who have pre-existing conditions, people who get sick can get affordable care. We can do all of these things without having a government takeover like we have right now. That's exactly, if you go to better.gop, you can see exactly what we're talking about, how to do this. This is what we will present the next president. This law is failing. It is not working. Here is a solution, and here's what it should be replaced with. Because honestly, we can fix this problem. We can get lower costs, more quality health care, better access for everybody, and we can also deal with the legitimate problem of people, you get breast cancer in your middle 40s, you don't want to go to the poorhouse just to get your health care. We can fix that problem, and we can do it without this huge government takeover. And we intend on putting that solution on the desk of the next president. It'd be nice if we keep the Senate so we can actually get it to the desk of the president, and that is going to be a massive fight, because I think what the left is trying to do is they want to double down on government-run health care. They don't want our patient-centered solutions. They don't want more choices. They don't want more insurance competition. They just want the government to run it all. And I'll give the last point. When you say that something like this is a right, a government-granted right, like they claim health care is now, not a natural right, but a government-granted right, that means the government decides for itself that they get to tell you where, how, why, and under what circumstances you get to exercise that right. That's where we're going with health care right now. That takes so much power away from you, from us as people and citizens and families, and gives it to the government. And look at these predictable results. It's not working. So my goal is to put on the next president's desk a plan to fix all this. And you can go to better.gop and see what it looks like.
You mentioned one choice. That's not a choice.
That's right.
That's
It's a monopoly.
That's 2016, how we've redefined words. One thing is not a choice, right? One last person we've got here, and that's Mitch from Bloomer. I did not deliberately just pick people from the front row.
Mr. Speaker, in what ways can we, the students, or the larger electorate as a whole, better market to undecided voters everything that the Republican Congress has done in the last 2 years?
Yeah, so what we've done, a lot of folks, and I did not ask him to ask this question, by the way. Here's what I decided to do after getting this job, a couple of things. Find where the common ground exists, where we actually agree with the other party, and get those things done. So we had a real infrastructure problem in this country. I mean, just go down I-90 or I-94. We've got some real issues there. So we had, for the first time since the mid-1990s, a bipartisan infrastructure bill. So we now actually have a long-term highway bill so we can start building these projects, fix those people, get people back to work. We had an education problem. You ever heard of No Child Left Behind or Common Core? We don't like those. So we actually got consensus to ban Common Core and replace No Child Left Behind and get control back to our local school districts, to our states. So we had the biggest devolution of power back to states in education for the K through 12 education in 25 years. We got that done. Our trade laws weren't working like they should. We had other countries that were taking advantage of our lack of enforcement of our trade laws and taking advantage of us and basically sort of cheating on their own agreements that they agreed to. So this is something I specifically worked on. We rewrote our customs laws, our export laws, so that we can actually enforce our trade laws and hold other countries to account. China dumping steel and things like that. We fixed that. First time in about 40 years. We had tax certainty. We had this problem where farmers and small businesses, they had no idea what their taxes were going to look like by the end of the year because we had this unpredictability in the tax code. We fixed that and made really important provisions permanent for small businesses, for farmers, and so that they can plan and invest. So we got a lot of things actually done, but again, and I'll say this one more time, there are just huge issues in this country that are going unsolved, and I think the reason it's going unsolved is because our two parties have just a big difference of opinion on how to solve these problems. It's not that the other side are bad people. I just think they're wrong. And I think they're wrong and going in the wrong direction very quickly. And this is why what we're trying to do is win an election not by out-bashing the other person, but by showing that we have better solutions and better ideas. And if we can win that kind of an election, then we have earned the right ahead of time from the American people to put these solutions in place in 2017 and get our country back on the right track, a country where 7 out of 10 Americans think is on the wrong track. And so that is effectively what we're trying to do right now, and that is what I would encourage you to make sure that other people, your friends, your colleagues, your classmates, make sure that they know what it is we're actually talking about, what it is we actually believe in, what it is we're actually proposing. I'd say turn the TV off and get on better.gop and look at what we're proposing, then make your mind up.
All right, thanks everyone for coming out. Great questions, I appreciate it. And one last thing, if I may add, you actually have to go out and vote. You know, you actually have to win elections to get any of this stuff done. You guys know that, right? So you know that the election's November 8th and early voting is already happening, okay? Because I already cast mine.
Hey, Vicki, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thank you. We'll do it out here. Thanks. Appreciate it. Where are you from?
I'm from Illinois.
Oh,